seeking a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, we'll vote. And the warrants. Said you signed both of them. So that first page, that was all quick. Roll that over. You sign that one. Which one do you want, please?
You can get a deal the other day, somebody threw out down there. Little deal,
Right down the side of the road, just past the bridge, after 107, you know,
somebody must have took it down there and left it on the beat, on the parking lot.
hit my car.
Must have.
No,
The whole back was, it started, it was something that started to chew the core, it won a very big deal, 56.
They done to that beach.
At the town beach, right over, yeah, we,
I got about 8 or 10 of them. I got one that isn't much bigger than a yellow lab, and it's by itself. It'll cover up to the windows. I'm thinking this year's not gonna last long.
survived the whole winter and get hit by a car, it's a shame.
And for them to just leave it too.
Yeah.
Have a picture off, yeah.
So we have at the town beach.
Yeah.
New business here, the Nature's Wilderness Campground Road Agreement update. You got it now?
Yeah.
I believe, yep, but we gotta run it past the lawyer.
I haven't changed to mine
Yeah,
yet. Right.
yeah, so that's where we're at with that.
Yep, and I got 2 quotes in today, coming in today and tomorrow. We'll have that thing checked Thursday. If it can be switched to my name.
Then I'd like to pick a meeting for a staff meeting, a date for a staff meeting. I believe in getting everybody together, at least quarterly, if we can do that. You know, just, we know where everybody is and stuff. I think we work better together as a team as we do one-on-one and stuff, so.
My hours have changed slightly, you know, at 1 o'clock now, so it's inside. Yeah. Unless you wanna make it on like Wednesday, Thursday.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, I mean, instead of having, you know, guys stay here later on Monday as we usually do.
Yeah.
You know, 1 o'clock usually works well. I do my running around for inspections in the morning and meetings in the evening, so middle of the day, lunchtime, fine.
All right, we'll pick a date then.
Yeah.
Let everybody know when it's gonna be and stuff, and we'll all get together again. Then I thought Jason's gonna be in there, the fire truck payment, we got a bill from the fire truck, but I'm not sure yet just how that's gonna go. We get it was a bill of 4 equal payments and stuff, but we haven't received the truck yet. So we gotta check with him and see. If you don't do that, I'll do it tomorrow.
I talked to Jason this afternoon, and there's a written contract saying that we would pay, so he talked to him for about 20 minutes, and it's a signed contract, so we owe them the $56,000.
And then it's a done deal, and we gotta pay it and stuff like that. We agreed to it anyways.
Okay.
So, all right, that's good. That'll get us a little way ahead on stuff like that too, so. Then, old business, the Long Road Energy proposal, we'll see that in the Shopper's Guide tomorrow. That'll be an advertised thing. See if the people are showing any interest to let the town farm over here, you know, be rented out to an energy developer. You know, so that's what that's all about. The after school update. Danielle, I'm gonna let you talk about that.
Yep. I just got an email from Lisa this evening. Basically, right now with the whole week, she has a total of, 43 slots over the week. So that's gonna bring in $430 a week. So that's a pretty good number to start. This week she's gonna be working on filling in some additional vacancies. What the problem is it's not a problem, but some people are doing like just one day, some doing two, they're not doing full weeks, so the numbers range, depending on the day. So the low, for instance, she has 11 kids on Mondays, 9 kids on Tuesdays, 6 on Wednesdays, 8 on Thursdays, and 9 on Fridays. So she's gonna try and fill in those gaps a little bit if she can, because the bus can take 12 kids per day. This week she's gonna be reaching out for donations, and post that online and possibly in the shopper's guide. She wants some Legos, parachutes, hula hoops, mats, etc., balls, stuff like that. She has a director identified. She's looking for 2 counselors in training, the CITs, and 1 for athletics and 1 for art and homework. She is researching and discussing a summer food program. She's doing after school, but she is also planning on doing a April vacation fun camp, and she's also going to be developing a summer program. And so she's also researching the idea of having a summer food program here and seeing what that entails. She's going to complete summer camp details and run an ad for next week, and she is going to come to the Selectmen's workshop next week and present this all to you guys. And she's going to design a fact sheet for all the customers that are coming in. Next week, she's going to set up the room, order what is needed, whatever she doesn't get donated, she's going to order some things that she needs. She's going to start training the CITs, complete the employee handbook, and put together the attendance sheet. So she's got a pretty good game plan. She did submit 2 invoices for $500. She's getting paid $500 a week to set this all up. So we just paid her $1,000. So, and the after school program is set to start April 8th.
The next thing we got is a school budget meeting. I went to that last night, Wes was over there. Boiled down to what we're gonna get is a 1.87% increase on our school budget costs. I think he's done a pretty good job as far as keeping the budget as flat as what he could. It's a $78,000 increase from last year to this year.
Those increase reflects, inflation.
Yeah.
Carl does a wonderful job in numbers.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. Yeah. What he told us last night for next year, depending on what our new governor does, is a little scary. If they bring the baseline to all the teachers up, you know, it's gonna cost some money right now. So everybody's sitting on pins and needles on that, but it boils down to us is for every $100,000 your house is valued, it's about $89 increase.
That was what it has happened over 4 years.
Yep.
I think just this year it increased to $20 on 100,000.
Yep.
Okay.
Wes, did they talk about what they're getting from the state compared to other years? Because they had the list in the
It varies
paper, but they didn't list it.
It varies from year to year, and they aren't sure until they get it.
Well, I know the paper came out with, obviously, as they always do, with all the Portland area schools. And even Mount Eagle was saying what they were getting compared to what they were getting other years.
Yeah.
So I presume he's got that.
Yeah, he projects something. I don't have memorized a lot of numbers he projected.
Yeah, they got one check for $220,000.
Yeah. What I'm always concerned about is, 3 years we've dropped almost 100 in population in the school. And I think we'll get 9,000 per head, so that's almost $1 million. That the infrastructure stays the same. And
I think that's a big issue.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I tell people all the time, when high school first opened, there were 600 kids in the building.
Yeah.
They were grades 7 through 8, and we had 600 in that building.
Yes, we did.
And now there's less than 400 in the same building.
Wow.
And a middle school building now.
And it costs more.
Yeah.
So it is a problem.
It's a numbers game, yeah.
Look what happened,
Tomorrow, one in the school, there's a dollar sign on everything.
look what happened up in Solon, just last week, they decided to close another school up there.
Yeah, you know, when those battles happen, I've gotta believe that Sebago eventually will decide that they just can't do what they're doing, because the maintenance on the building, beyond what the additional costs of running their own program, which is crazy. I mean, if we'd have kept this building open, I think it was another $240,000 a year,
I think it was.
Well, it's another $240,000 a year to keep it open, and then you're responsible for the building.
Yeah.
Not that. And Sebago's dealing with two-story wooden, not two-story, but they're dealing with wooden buildings in the state.
Yeah.
But I don't know what their tax base is on Sebago Lake.
Oh, they're way ahead of us, no doubt about it. I wish we had another long, big lake or something in this town.
Well, you know, the formula is so complicated that the average person doesn't understand it. It was created that way. Because if you have no kids going to school, you're still gonna pay basically. Like, one of the factors is town evaluation. It's not per pupil.
And that's one reason our head is, we're evaluated higher than any other district, that town in the district.
And I was surprised.
That's reflective of the county, that we're in Cumberland County, that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Where York County, and Coronation, and Oxford is Hiram, and so each county has different expenses, so we're at the expense of that.
Yeah.
Two things that were brought up was, an extra school resource officer.
Yeah.
And the other thing was a, substance abuse counselor. You know, when I went to school, things are different than they are today. You know, they're affected by stuff way more than we was.
Sue Day came up with something half a year ago. In 1902, schools had to deal with 4 issues that were not educational. This year, have to deal with 54 different issues that are non-educational.
But when you read all of it, parents want the schools to become parents. I mean, when they first introduced the elementary schools teaching kids how to brush their teeth, I thought, my mother taught me that. And, you know, then it just got added on. And it's the standard, and it's hard to beat the standard. I mean, times change and.
Well, they expect it.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that burns me, and statewide, is the federal law about everybody needs to get an education, and you have the Article 2, the disabled students. 1/3 of our educational budget goes to about 120 students.
Sure.
And the other 800, 2/3. I can't imagine what Portland and Westbrook are like.
I was talking with a parent today around Cornish, and she said, you know, they're gonna start pre-K. I thought, you're gonna start sending kids to school when they're 4 years old, instead of 5. And she said, well, it's a babysitting service for the parents that want to take the kids.
Yes and no. But the big thing is, you know, the young, sometimes they say 20 years is too old to send them off. But what's happening, what they really do is the kids are getting used to getting separated from mama. They learn how to take the coat and do their coats, how to get along with them. So when they go to kindergarten, the kindergarten teacher doesn't have to deal with all that crap.
They
Because it's not really teaching them.
When my wife subbed, her favorite grades were 6th grade, because she said they knew how to take their jacket off and know how to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
First and second graders, she spent half the day taking her
Yeah,
shoes off.
So pre-K does have a little functional edge to it. It ain't great. But
Oh, they teach them cursive like they used to.
yeah.
Kids can't even sign their name, they don't know how to write.
I got a daughter that works for a bank, and she has, the people that are coming in now taking out loans, say 20 years old to 26 years old, are having a hard time to write their name.
Well, the legislature debated that for months, and decided they weren't gonna mandate it in schools, but they debated it for a long time.
They should.
Yeah.
They can't sign their name.
Well, I think we
I
should.
guess not, no.
You can't? Better, use the principal. Trained of you.
All right, the next thing we got here is the, community center. These are letters that's gotta be signed, the center, everybody's gotta sign one of these from wherever they use it for, just so what they know what the rules are and stuff, so. It's 2 of them signed here.
Just for the nonprofit use.
In cursive.
You read it, Greg?
Look, the first grade, they had them all on the wall.
Cason's learning it now. He just did his name in cursive the other night,
Really?
second grade.
Good.
So,
There, or would it be full third grade?
he's trying, yeah. They must be introducing it. He's like, this is my name in cursive. No way. Yeah. Doing alright.
Idiot politicians.
Jimmy, I just changed the regular application to fit nonprofit and added a disclaimer in there.
Alright.
Then the last thing we got on the list here is a kitchen update. Danielle, I'll let you go with that one.
Okay. I reached out to the state because, the same people that came here when we first started, renovating the kitchen, to see basically where we left off. What had happened is we had a man come out, when we first started and inspected the kitchen from DHHS. He gave us some pointers on what we needed to do to be considered commercial. So that was our basis. And then we went back to him and said, okay, we did all these renovations, I guess we wanna get licensed. And they said, well, wait a minute, what are you gonna use this kitchen for? So we said, bean suppers, senior lunches, stuff like that, we wanna use it for town meeting. And they said, you don't need to be commercialized for that, you don't need a commercial license, so why don't you hold off? Well, that's where we left off. So I emailed them back and said, hey, we got a commercial use for this kitchen, can you come back out and inspect it so we can get our commercial license? And the woman said, basically, we wouldn't be getting the license, it would be the people renting it. So that's basically what she told me, and she says she says, I'm a little unclear on what your responsibilities as a license holder would be. So you can either present this to Shovel and Spoon or forward it, because basically they would be the one filling it out. So I just took it and I forwarded it to Shovel and Spoon, and that was just last night. So I haven't heard back from Shovel and Spoon on what they want to do, but it's basically out of our hands. We're not operating the kitchen, Shovel and Spoon are, so it's in their court.
We're gonna do what we're gonna do.
They would be holding the certification, like she said, and they would be the certified food protection manager. So.
Okay, so that's where we are with the kitchen and stuff, with anybody coming into work. Then
Anybody else comes in, we gotta get.
Yep. We got the application, so.
Yeah.
different companies, say we rented out to this spoon place here, they're gonna have to be certified. If we let somebody else come in, they're gonna have to be certified. See, we don't have to be that as a town, so.
Kind of covers that, but.
It does, and well, it takes a monkey off our back.
Right, yeah.
It puts it onto them right off work and
Yeah.
stuff, so.
And we did get that list that they promised of all kinds of the supplies and equipment with prices, so they did uphold that.
We talked about that last time and
Okay.
stuff too, so.
And we ordered a water test, an overall water test for the facility, just for our information,
I
so
think we should do that every year.
where we're at.
Yeah, what was that, $75 or something?
$70, yep.
I think it's money well spent myself.
Well, there are people coming in drinking the water out of the fountain.
That's right, we're gonna have a lot of kids and stuff here too, so.
Yeah.
Danielle, who did the water test?
It's the state lab. They're sending it.
No, did they send someone else to take the water?
No, they're sending a kit.
See, I'd be careful about that one.
Why is that?
Well, in the real estate business, realtors used to take the water. And everyone did it differently. Someone would take a little alcohol and put it on the end of the faucet, some people would run it for a while, some people would not. And in the real estate business now, they don't let realtors do that. And they may not even know who's gonna come out and do the water test.
No, they're sending a kit and with instructions,
I'm just saying in the real estate business.
Oh, yep.
So I'd be careful. I knew one realtor that had the water test done before the well was drilled a lot of times.
Mhm. Well, I used to do that for a living, so I have done quite a few water tests. It'll be all right. We can do it.
Before we sold our house in Wyndham, we put a couple bleach in the well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Always bleeds done well.
there's a certain type of test they recommended for the community, between it being a municipality and community center. It's like they had a name for it, and
Yeah,
there's a
whatever it
description in the
takes.
kit.
It's just like going to San Paul and taking a sample, whatever it takes, it's gonna sign the name to it.
Yep. So,
Yeah,
see where
I
we're
think
at.
that should be done right away.
Yeah.
Before it thaws out.
Oh, the new guy, he has to do it.
Wait a minute, there wants to be ice to get out
I was
first.
thinking about that today, there's a couple of things I break you in on.
I got the booze.
I got the eye to keep them straight. All right, the community center updates, the essential oil workshops in April. The adult Tai Chi, that's April. Conwood's gonna do some dance classes in April.
April's busy.
Very busy. And the after-school project starts April 8th. That's all I got on the, agenda here tonight. Wes, you got anything?
I guess, I could mention, I visited up on Dearborn Road a little more than a week ago, about a week after I got back from Florida. Ida and Cleo up there. And Ida, the 91-year-old woman, is friends with Ed Libby's mother. Ed Libby's one that owns the house. Well, Ed Libby's mother there, she was cleaning, so she, my goodness, he needs cleaning. We got running water now, and so things are getting better.
More weather, some of the like.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, do you do Meals on Wheels, did you tell me that once?
No, I just subbed there one time. I do one that I've called, the police have been there 2-3 times just to do a safety check lately, and they wanted me to call after I was there today. But because they're trying to get the person out of the house because it's so dilapidated, and they're trying to get them in a nursing home, and they just refuse to go.
What do you do on a deal like that?
But the good thing is human services, yeah, the police, one of the county sheriffs even brought up a hot meal to it. And we make sure there are meals, and one of the persons living there was cooking, and then now in a rehab, and this 70-year-old lady didn't know how to use a microwave.
Maurice is aware of the situation too, so.
Oh, I know he is, yeah.
And another issue is, Sergeant, Dave Sergeant. I tried to talk him out of it. He wants to try to go for appeals for the dimension. And I said, I don't think you're gonna make the hardship rules. So he's gonna try for it. Anyhow, so I'll see Friday. I said, here's the application, do your homework. I let him through a little bit, and I'll see him Friday, see what happens.
What's he going? You see the excavator.
He wants to put his garage equal to the front of the house, and the house is not conforming. And the rule is, if your accessory structure that you're making is 25% or less of the floor area of the non-conforming, you can't build the garage. You gotta pull it back to the ordinance, which is 100 feet, which means you have to go back another 16 feet, which to him, it squeezes his backyard and
I don't think he's got enough setback back there.
his backyard's far enough, and it's only 25 feet from the back line. He's done enough back there.
No, you know where the back line is.
So he definitely knows where.
I've got a survey of the property around there, so I did a survey the other year.
Well, that's good. See what we can do is,
So I've got a survey of that whole thing.
okay.
One of his buildings is on Henry's land back there,
And as well, so I'm gonna be slammed and some other things.
so he's tight.
So we semi-calmed down. Okay.
You just let him talk for a while and calm himself down after a while, he really does.
He landed on my doorstep Saturday night, and I got a little dog about this long. And for some reason, he don't like people with beards. Boy, he went to listen. He wanted to eat him. Larry, you got anything? Rusty? Now, the San Paul thing, that should be hit on the shopper's guide coming up tomorrow.
Right here.
Yeah, we'll see, what it's about that, see if we get a committee together and stuff. All here with that stuff like that too, so. We'll see how it goes. Brian? Road proposal. I see at you get a thing from Maine Townsman, there's an LD bill in front of the government right now to eliminate road posting in the state of Maine. Is that right? Yeah, you can imagine that? a lot of these small towns are fighting it because, you know, it costs so much to keep the roads up, they don't wanna get them all stove up and stuff, you know, cause when things are soft, they'll break them apart.
Now, what do they mean by eliminate road postings? That you don't have to post them, or you can post them without?
You didn't eliminate posting. Yeah.
What if you still,
Just leave things
what if
alone.
you still have the right to do it, even if?
This, I should've brought this on the desk, where
Oh,
this is
yeah.
to eliminate.
I can't imagine what the mountain road looks like right now.
The river
The
road.
river road, I do Meals on Wheels on the river road, and I should be taking my full load
I'm
truck.
gonna go down and try to grade it tomorrow, but it won't do anything.
No, it'll wash out the next
Yeah,
rain comes.
Yeah, it's
Tough.
cheaper. Problem is, if you pave that road, you know the work you have to do first before you even consider that.
Mm.
You gotta build that road, it's all, the whole road is down lower than the, big money to do it right. It's, what's there now is junk. By the culvert, the bridge, and up there by the power line, you get out of your car and walk around, look at that road.
Little soft.
There's only 1.5 inches of pavement, it was only just one coat down through there anyway, so it's all broke. That,
But you get posted some big trucks and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Cassie, you got anything?
I just wanted to listen to, I'm sorry, came in too late, but I picked up a little bit of information that answered my question, so thank you.
We could do a rerun.
You can go home and watch it on TV.
I know exactly.
That's all. You guys got anything?
No,
You don't want to?
that's it.
Why, you didn't make it?
That's impressive.
You're close. Close.
I don't, last week, anything that was left over? We have done some improvements to the building. We've wrapped some of the, fascia and stuff out here. We've been 3 years trying to get this done. We've got a problem with the roof out back here. I don't know where we're gonna go with that yet. We gotta find out where the money is, what's available and stuff. We've replaced, MMA come through, there were some tiles that had some blacking on them and stuff they wanted them replaced. So we've had that done. The next thing we'll be doing is starting on the outside of the building around the windows, recaulking windows and stuff like that. Like I say, I gotta see just how much money we haven't got available to do that with and stuff, so. But right now, we've got a project started anyway, so. And like I say, we've been a couple of years trying to get it done. Last year, we advertised it twice, and nobody interested at all and stuff like that, so. But Danny Boutot has some time, and so far he's done a pretty good job, I think.
Matt Sanborn came,
Windows as well. Yeah, as long as the money holds up and stuff like that, so.
Matt,
Wait.
no, sorry, Matt Sanborn came in today too and, replaced those valves, one in Debbie's room and the one in the old town office. He
Yeah.
finally got those parts in.
But one thing we're finding that, our building's 40 years old, so we're replacing, like Danielle says, we had trouble with these valves, what was it, a month ago? When we lost the heat, and then we had one place froze up, it broke a pipe and stuff in the old town office and stuff like that. So that's what we found, some of the valves are just, the valves stuck. They shut the water off is what happened.
Yep.
So when the valves are above the ceiling, one thing, Larry, one thing I'm finding is when they build schools, they build them as cheap as they can build them. You know, it just.
When they evaluated this building, they said the old building was structurally much better than, from the multipurpose room down. And I remember when we had, the guy doing it, trying to think of his name, his mother was the town clerk in Parsonsfield back years ago. And, he's still building buildings, but they do that.
Yeah, I mean, just, well, they look at the insulation they put in here, then with some pipe work, I mean, it's.
Well, when the high school was built, all the pipework is buried in the concrete. So you had leaks that you didn't even know you had leaks in, because you had no way to find them, so at least it made sense to do there. And at one point, this was 1966, 67, when they started building it, Horace Perry talked them out of doing electric heat. Those weren't the thermal pane windows building, and very low insulation, but that's what everybody was doing, electric heat.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that was?
Oh, big time expense, yeah. Yeah, well, I remember first class that went in over there, but I can remember the deal was on the curtains, there was thermal curtains, that was the state of the art. And I don't, have they still got them same curtains? I know some of them, I've been told they've been replaced.
I think they replaced every window, when they did the $1 million project, they replaced every window in that building.
In the school? Yeah. We're still doing, but we got most of them replaced, yeah. Yeah.
A lot of glass over there. Looking at my thing here, that's all I've got here. Unless somebody else got anything else.
Let's go home.
Also, we go.
All right, the meeting is now over.